everyone, my name is Kay Spacely and today we'll be making my Lychee rose wine. If you're new here, which chances are you are because I just made my channel, welcome. I do everything DIY from self-care to making wine to home goods. It's really anything that I need to create in life. You are here along for the journey. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get new Space Cadet videos. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, like it. Now, enough about that. Let's get into this project. Okay, so we're gonna take a closer look at the ingredients that I'm gonna use for this batch of wine. I'm making this wine for Easter, so I wanted a light, fruity, but strong wine. That's where I went with Lychees. For the fruitiness, I definitely wanted to have something that, you know, you're like, oh wow, I didn't think of Lychees for an alcoholic drink. If you did, you're my type of person. Hit me up, because that's diabolical. But I went with Lychees for this. Now, I'm going to do rose, but I'm going to add that in the secondary, not the primary, so I don't have that ingredient out yet. This is just what we're going to use for the primary of your wine. So these are my pH test strips. I want to make sure that my primary is not too acidic. That's just to make sure that my yeast has a great playground to eat all of the honey and make the most alcohol. So I will be using these after I combine everything before pitching my yeast. Talking about yeast, I went with 71B. I wanted to hit those sweet tones, and I think that this is going to give me the alcohol yield that I'm going for. So this is the yeast that I chose. Now, I like to rehydrate my yeast before I add it. So that's what this Go Firm is about. I'm going to add some of this together with the yeast in warm water and let it do its thing for some minutes before I pitch it. Now, this Prt.II is the food for the yeast. I want to make sure to support my yeast throughout the whole stage of it taking sugar and converting it into alcohol. So I use this food in the beginning, 24 hours after pitching the yeast, and then a week after I come back and feed it again. Here's my citric acid. This is used at the end of the secondary stage to add any acidity that may be missing. If it's balanced when I try it at the end of the secondary stage, I won't use it, but I like to have it on hand. Next up is to balance the tannins. Now, tannins is also a part of flavor. I'm using black tea. This has hibiscus, orange peel, and rose hips, so I think that would be a great addition to the Lychees. And the honey and all of the different fruity undertones. I know you've been making eye contact with all of this honey in the bag. I got 3, 2 for the primary stage, 1 for back sweetening. You and I, we're gonna do math. We're gonna take our gravity reading so we can know what the approximate ABV will be. I have all this honey so that I can get it as close as possible to 14%. So that's why I have 3 of these bad boys, and we are going to go to the next step. All right, so I have my 2-gallon bucket. I'm not making a huge batch, so this is perfect. We're going to start with my Lychees. Now, I'm going to put everything in there, including the syrup. And this smells amazing already. Like, I'm really happy with this choice that I made. Because when I think of Easter, I think of the beginning of spring, light, fruity, floral aromas, and this is in line with that. To make sure that I've incorporated my honey like evenly in my mixture, I'll mix it in a 1/2 gallon of water and then add it in 1/2 gallon at a time. So I put 1 bottle of honey to half a gallon. I will be back after doing that again to complete my full gallon. Okay, I have my second half gallon ready. Perfect. So now I'm just gonna mix the lychee syrup, the water and honey together. And I only did 2 bottles of honey. Now what I will do now is grab the pH for this mixture, and then I'm also going to make sure that I grab the gravity reading. So let's test our pH. I'm just gonna dip it in there, and then it says to compare it. I'm gonna say we're at a 4. Yep. So we're okay. We're less than 4.5, so that's perfect. Next, we're gonna get our gravity reading. Let's see if that's enough. And away it goes. I twirled this because I don't want it to get stuck on any of the bubbles. I want to get an accurate read. So the potential alcohol is showing like right under 15%, which is wild. And then let's try to get it back. Yeah. It's like whizzing by. It's kind of hard to get it. Okay, it's coming. It's turning. It's turning. Okay, 1.15. So let's do the math real quick. First, we need to take the starting gravity, which is 1.115, subtracted by the ending gravity, hoping for 1.000, times that by 131.25. That gives us 15%. So now we know to expect roughly 15% alcohol content in this wine that I'm making. All right, I love to be around 13 to 15%, so I'm happy with those results. So I'm gonna give it 1 more stir. And mind you, everything that you see that I'm using, I've sanitized already with potassium Campton tablets. You could use Sarscan, I'm out of it, so I went with the next best thing. Now that we have the lychee syrup, we have the honey in there, the water, we tested the pH, we're in the clear, right? And we know the alcohol content. It is time to pitch our yeast. It's been 20 minutes with the Go Firm. You see the bubbles, that means that it's active. That's what you want to see. I'm gonna give it 1 more stir and then I'm gonna pitch it. Okay, there it is. And I'm just gonna put, a little bit more in here because I want to get every single yeast inside of this. I don't want to waste any of it, okay? Perfect. These lids, my God. Okay, perfect. For my airlock, I put potassium Campton in the solution as well, just to make sure we keep any pests out of this lovely primary that we made. So this is all set. Now that I've pitched my yeast, I'm gonna leave it alone for 24 hours to do its thing. I will be back to feed it. with the Prt.II. And then I'm also going to add the black tea for the tannin. After I feed it tomorrow, I'm going to leave it alone for another week to feed it again, and then we're going to just come back after 2 weeks and see how it does. So we'll be back tomorrow to show you how to feed this. All right, let's see. Okay, we see a little fizz going on here. I'm going to now add my Prt.II. This is the yeast nutrient. You know, I want my yeast to be happy. I want them to be supported because I want a high alcohol content for this wine. So I'm putting this in, and I'm gonna make sure that it's incorporated well. And you see all this fizz? This is how I know it's activated. The airlock hasn't started yet, like going sick. So it's like, I feel a little paranoid sometimes in this stage, but now that I'm stirring and I see the frothiness, I know we're in action. So next, I'm putting in this black tea. This is going to give me the tannins I want to balance this wine. And I only think 1 tea bag is needed. So I'm putting this in here. Some people will steep it and then add it in, like steeping it in hot water and then add it in. I've always just put the tea bag in and I've been fine. So, you know, you could choose which method you want to do. So now I'm going to put my airlock back on. So now that this is back together, I'm gonna put this in my closet so it could be undisturbed. I will come back for it next Thursday to feed my yeast once more, and I'll see you there. Welcome back. It's been a week and some change, so we are going to give my yeast one more feed of their nutrients. I'm going to show you how that looks. There's a point where I know I have a winner, and we have a winner on our hands, okay? All right, okay. So I'm gonna put this back up for 1 more week, and then we're gonna take a gravity reading to see how far my fermentation has gone. I wanna be as close to 1.000 as possible because then I know I'm at 15%. So we will be back in a week. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far. I really wanted to show how simple it is to make your own homemade wine. It's nothing too crazy. You can make whatever flavors you desire, and it's really just having the knowledge, which is anything, right? So we're gonna let mine go for another week. I want to get as close to 1.000 as possible because that would mean 15%. I am keeping it in my closet because it's the warmest place right now for it. During the fermentation process, you want to make sure that the temperatures are not super cold so the yeast aren't bothered. Yeast like warm. So I have it in my closet. Every other day I look and I see that, okay, it's going, it's still active. But I'm going to break this up into different parts. This is the primary stage of the wine. So when I go back and I check on the gravity reading and it shows me that it is at 1.000, we know that's going to be 15%. You will have the next video, which would be what does it mean for your wine to be in the secondary stage. So if you enjoyed this video, of course, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell bell so you can know when new Space Cadets videos are out. I will see you in a week and some change. I hope you're having a great day.